Hi everybody, this is Rhonda Johnson. I'm your instructor for for BUSN 1440, which is document production. And this video is going to be talking about hyphens and dashes. So one of your assignments this past week had you using an M dash, that's EM space dash, DASH. And I think a lot of you may not have understood what that was or what it was for. So I'm just going to make a little mini lesson about this, and we'll start with hyphens. So a hyphen I have on the screen here is used for breaks in words that wrap at the end of a line. Like when you have to separate a word, typically you separate it between syllables. So I've given this example here to say hyphen is used for breaks in words that wrap at the end of a line. For X dash example, the word example was broken so that we could move to the next line. So that would be one reason you would use a hyphen. Another reason to use a hyphen, so a hyphen is used for connecting compound words like happy-go-lucky or freeze-dried. And then finally, a hyphen is used for connecting groups of numbers like account numbers, or in this case, like a phone number. And it's just a hyphen. So in other words, nothing special. You would just type EX and then just use the dash. That's next to the O or the 0 at the top of you on your keyboard, or to the left of the plus sign. So it's just a regular hyphen. For the M dash, it has some uses too. For the most part, an M dash is used to express emphasis. So if you want to bring attention to something, I would give you this kind of a warning. If you use an M dash too much, it kind of takes away from the point you're trying to make. Like if you're trying to bring emphasis to something and you use a lot of M dashes in your writing, it's actually going to de-emphasize, make it sound less important. So the three characters that an M dash could be used to replace would be a comma, parentheses, or a colon. I'll give you a couple examples here. So an M dash is used in the place of a comma when you want to set apart a word or a phrase from the rest of the sentence in order to show emphasis. For example, when I tell you I mean it, M dash, I really mean it. Alternatively, another example would be his best friend, M dash, indeed his only friend, M dash, didn't bother to stay for his speech. Another one would be when it's used in the place of parentheses for emphasis. For example, Dean took his, meant to say his, sorry. Dean took his dog, a spunky little Yorkie, to the vet yesterday. So instead of putting parentheses, you could say Dean took his dog, and I'm going to show you how to do the M dash here, a spunky little Yorkie, to the vet yesterday. So I'm going to back all this out, all the parentheses, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through or talk you through how I'm going to put an M dash in. So after dog with no space, I'm going to put two dashes together, no spaces between, before, or after. And then I'm going to type the last letter or the last word. So Dean, I'm going to just take that A out of there. Dean took his dog, dash dash, A, and then when I say space, notice that when I click the space bar, those two dashes turned into one really long dash. That's an M dash. And I'll do the same thing over here with Yorkie. Let me just erase the word to. Yorkie, dash dash, to. Now watch what happens when I hit the space bar. Space. So those two dashes turned into an M dash. That's how you create an M dash on the page. Okay, so in this case it would say, for example, Dean took his dog, a spunky little Yorkie, to the vet yesterday. The third way, or the third character you could replace with an M dash would be the colon. And a colon is for the same reason. We use a colon to set off something that we want to be emphasized. So in this example, I said, after 6 hours in the emergency room, comma, Dad and I could think of just one thing. Now I could put colon, home, or I could put dash dash, home. The dash dash, which becomes an M dash, is to sort of make it less formal and bring emphasis. So the colon would also bring emphasis. It's completely a stylistic choice. Whether you choose to use an M dash or not, it's just style. It's not grammar. But it's an important character to know how to use. And so one of the things in your lesson this week, I think it was a sentence that had the word weather dash dash or exam dash dash weather. And so it wasn't that you were supposed to hyphenate exam and weather together. It's not like one word. It was an M dash to separate two pieces of a sentence so that one could be emphasized. All right, so the last kind of dash I want to talk about today is the N dash, E-N like Nancy right here. And this dash is used to express a range or a span, and it's only used with numerals. So you wouldn't use it in a sentence, you would only use it within numbers. So it's used to replace the words, say, to or until. So I've seen it used to put like on a door, if someone's posting their hours, Monday 9 to 6, Tuesday 9 to 6, and so on. So rather than saying 9 space TO to 6, you could say 9 dash 6. In this case, and I'll show you how to do the N dash as well, it's not the same as the M dash. So you would use a different technique to get the N dash in place. So if I wanted to put an N dash between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock like I have on the screen, I would put a space after 1, just one dash or one hyphen, another space, and then let me get this. I'm going to back it all out so I can do it. I think you have to do it just right or it doesn't work on the screen. So 1 space dash space 3, and now notice that as soon as I started typing, that dash, the hyphen I put in there, actually elongated itself. So it's longer than a dash, but not as long as an M dash, as you can see. So you would use that instead of the word to or until. You might say the same thing. The teacher assigned pages 107 space dash space 152. As soon as you start typing, that little hyphen is going to turn into a larger dash, and it's going to be called an N dash. And the reason it's an N dash, not an M dash, is because it's not for emphasis. It's for a span or a range of time or numbers. All right, I hope that this has been at least a little bit helpful, and I thank you for your time. Have a great afternoon.